It is day 15 of me decluttering 1,000 items from my home in a 30-day period. Now, while it is day 15 of me decluttering, I have been doing this challenge for just a smidge over 3 weeks now. I have got 4 days of that 30-day period left to get rid of the final items. And I am so close by the end of this particular declutter. I will share with you the exact figures at the end of this video. So today I am tackling the master bedroom. This is mine and my husband's bedroom. Now, it is reasonably small. I'm gonna say it's small. Like we can fit a king size bed in there, a couple of little bedside tables. Then we have had a corner wardrobe built in, and we've got a tiny little desk there. It really is too small in my opinion, but that is where my husband works from home on a Friday. And if he needs to work from home any other day where I am also working from home downstairs, but if I am not around, he's working from home, then he works from my desk because it is pretty small. Like you couldn't fit an extra screen on there if you have your laptop out. And that's what I find really frustrating because I like to have 2 screens when I am working. Now we have this really awesome bed. It's got this storage space in it, like Ottoman bed. It's got like a special mechanism, that sort of assisted mechanism, so it's not too heavy lifting it up, and then it holds in place. But it broke recently. So the bed is not holding in place, it's not holding up properly. And so I had to hold it up initially, and I actually really hurt my arm doing that because I caught it on the bed. Then it kind of seemed to be sticking upright, but honestly it's like if one touch on it and it will come crashing down. So I was really conscious when I had my head in there I didn't end up with like a head, you know, my head stuck in the bed or something. Because I did read about this case of a woman who died when a similar bed collapsed on top of her when she was like getting stuff out. And I just kept thinking about this poor woman and thinking, oh, I don't want that to be me. Like, woman dies in a decluttering challenge. So, you know, I'm fine, I'm well, and I survived. And I will get, I was gonna say, I'll get my husband to take a look at it, but I am the one that is more DIY savvy. I just need time to take a look at it. So I will take a look at it at a later date, but I didn't have time to be mending beds and doing this declutter. So I'm doing this in the evening today after putting the kids to bed. They were not playing ball with bedtime, and actually when I started this, middle child immediately came out of his room, wandered in, wanting to see what I was up to. I had told him what I was going to be doing, but he is the most tricky one, I think, to get to sleep. He's always been our worst sleeper, but he did eventually go back to sleep and I cracked on. So I've got all my stuff out from underneath the bed, bar 2 boxes with shoes in that I know I love. So I left those there. So I have one half of like the kind of underbed storage. My husband has the other half. And as part of my decluttering, I am not touching his stuff. Okay, it's his stuff, he can sort it out. He probably has overall a bit more of an emotional attachment to stuff, but then I would say that I have more clothes, more stuff like that. So I don't want to turn around and say like, oh, my husband's responsible for all of the clutter in the house. Like, he doesn't want to get rid of stuff, because like initially when I first started decluttering like properly after we'd had our firstborn, who is now 7, I did say that to him. Like, I was like, you know, if you didn't have so much stuff, it wouldn't be so bad. And then I read the Marie Kondo book, like the whatever is gentle art of tidying up, or whatever that one is. And there is something in that book which is talking about other people's clutter, and it said just concentrate on your stuff, like whether joint family stuff, kids stuff, whatever, but don't touch another like grown-up family member's stuff, you know, a friend, if you have a housemate, whatever. Just concentrate on your own stuff, and then the energy that you bring to decluttering and the improvement in the house will wear off on others around you. And that is so true. So I find when I am like in a decluttering spree, as I am right now, I can definitely see it rubbing off on my husband. He'll start to kind of tidy up and get rid of some things. Sometimes like when I am actually decluttering, he'll start looking at things and saying like, oh, I probably should get rid of this now and add it to my pile of stuff to go. So we will get there. He will get there. The one thing that does bug me though, when it comes to his stuff under the bed, he has got boxes and boxes and boxes of unused contact lenses. And I've said to him in the past, like, just put a stall on your contact lens subscription. Stop getting deliveries of contact lenses you're not wearing, only to discover that the reason why he's not wearing them is because they were for the wrong prescription. So not only is he not wearing them, but he cannot wear them. And the guilt, I think, of wasting the money on them means he can't bring himself to throw them away. So now they are just stored under our bed. There must be about somewhere between 6 to 8 boxes of contact lenses. And like, that just annoys me. It just annoys me. So there'll be a lot more space under there if you got rid of those contact lenses. However, it's not my job to get rid of them. I've gently suggested it to him. He has stopped getting the wrong ones delivered at least. At least we can be thankful for that. But I don't know whether he's thinking there might be some emergency situation where he needs to wear like hundreds of pairs of contact lenses which are not in the correct prescription. I don't know. I'm not in his head. I can't answer those questions. And I think when it comes to other people's stuff, often it just is too hard to know what is going on in their head and why they are keeping stuff. So my method for today is just to go through everything, have a little look at it, see how I feel about it, and try to make some big decisions. But I found a couple of things hard. You just saw me putting those flip-flops to one side. They were my wedding flip-flops. So I had a pair of like white or ivory wedding sandals, a little heel. And then when the night went on, I changed into my white Snoopy flip-flops. They are Havaianas and I love them, and they are a bit too worn out now. They're quite discoloured. They are actually like cracking on the heel, but because they were like a wedding shoe, I just couldn't bring myself to get rid of them. I feel like, so for my nice wedding shoes with the little heel, I will definitely keep those. Like, I think I'll just keep those forever. But for the Havaianas, I feel like maybe they should go. What do you think? They were a wedding shoe. I also wore them on my honeymoon. I've worn them since, but I do not wear them now. So I don't wear them now. They're a bit heavy, a bit clunky, and I probably won't wear them again. So I'm just keeping them for sentimental reasons, and I don't know what to do. So I had a few other things that I was basically trying on some shoes, trying to remind myself, did I like them, or were they just in case shoes? For these slip-ons, I was like, I don't really understand why I'm not wearing these more. So I decided I would actually take them downstairs, which I've done, put them with my other shoes, wear them, and make a decision then. Is there something that was bugging me about them, or am I just putting them back into rotation and wearing them? Got a few items of clothing that I've bought from like Vinted, or still got their labels on, but they just weren't me. So I'm going to relist those and get rid of them, pass them on. And I felt like I made some pretty good decisions when it came to clothes today, actually, because I have been through all of these clothes fairly recently, like as in within the last few months, and made decisions to keep these clothes, keep these shoes. So the fact that on another pass through I can get rid of like a good chunk of stuff from under the bed is good, like, reassuring. These like higher heeled shoes, which you can see like at the front of the screen, I love these. I bought these. They're comfortable for a high heel, but they are quite a significant high heel, and I can't wear high heels. I just can't wear them anymore. But they are really comfy. They have been barely worn, if not brand new. And but yeah, my sister is the same shoe size as me, so I am going to pop those with one other thing I have, which I'm saving to give to my sister. Hopefully I'm seeing her next month. She actually does live quite a long distance away from me, but seeing her hopefully next month, I will give her those. And I think she will love those. I think she'll get a good wear out of them. I do normally check things with my sister beforehand. I don't like to give people things, like bombard them with things that they might not want. So I will send her a picture and see, I'm pretty sure she'll want those. And if she doesn't, then I will put them in the charity shop, or I will put them on Vinted. I still have not listed anything on Vinted though. And I have a whole pile of stuff. So once this challenge is over and I actually have the time and the capacity to process things, then I will do that. So these knee-high boots, I put them in the box to get rid of, but I did not count them within my final figure because I am not 100% sure what I'm going to do with them. So as it stands right now, I don't think I'll be wearing them. They're coming away a little bit, the shoe fabric is coming away from the base, and they are a little bit discoloured, but They are so comfy. They're a really elegant shoe. They're a Gabor, which is a really nice brand. They're not cheap. And I'm just wondering if I take them to the shoe repair shop, will they be able to sort them out for me? So I feel like it's worth a question, you know, because I mean, it's going to cost me like, I don't know, 150, 200 quid to buy a new pair of knee-high boots for the winter. And if it would cost me like say 15, 20 pounds to get them repaired, that would be a massive saving. And I know I like the shoe and I know they're comfy. So I'm going to find that out. I also, when I was going through some later bits, came across a watch I'd had as a teenager. It's a Wallace and Gromit watch. It's got a leather strap. It's really cute. And my husband and I were talking about watches recently, and I said, oh, I wish I could find that. I'd be quite tempted to put a battery in it and actually wear it, because I feel like it's a really fun watch. And when you are a mum of small children, it's quite a fun thing to wear like a character watch occasionally. So I found that and I'm really pleased. Means I can take it, because our shoe repair place is also the watch battery place. So I can take those at the same time and get those two things seen to sorted. There's quite a lot of stuff in my bedroom in particular, which are like jobs that need doing. So they're not just things I can file away, pack away or bin. I need to do something with them, whether that is respond to some paperwork, or I need to take some sentimental like pictures and cards that the kids have given us, put those in the loft where there are sentimental things in our memory boxes, or I need to fix something. But yeah, quite a lot of tasks around, which is really annoying. And I feel like it sort of hampers progress somewhat, because, you know, I don't have the time to do all these little jobs. But yeah, I have put some other things like to one side that I think, right, okay, I just need to action them, and then I can pack them away, or I can bin them, or I can get rid of the paperwork or whatever it may be. So just going through these boxes, actually these bits and bobs now live on like a shelf at the top of my wardrobe. They are things I do not access regularly. They are keepsakes. There's a little bit of jewellery in there. But I just wanted to remind myself really of what was in there. I didn't get rid of masses from this stuff. Like I think only one empty jewellery box. But it was really handy going through things. I found a couple of necklaces, I found a couple of gold necklaces, and I found a couple of pairs of earrings. I don't have loads of earrings. I cannot wear anything except gold in my ears, or I get a reaction. So I don't have loads of pairs. And there was a really pretty pair, which had, I think it's just like a glass crystal in the shape of a heart with a gold backing. And I thought, they are so cute. My mum has clearly given them to me. They'll be part of my mum's extensive collection that she has given to me. And there was a beautiful, simple, like elegant gold necklace, like yellow gold. These are both yellow gold. I don't have a lot of yellow gold. And I thought, do you know what? Time to put them back in circulation. So I popped those in my little, I've got a tiny little saucer which sits on some shelving in my bathroom. And I have the kind of current rings, earrings, necklaces I'm wearing there, as well as some hanging up next to my bed. So it was nice to go through things, just to remind myself of stuff. This card holder, I really kind of want to get rid of it. So most of the cards that we use, like for kids' parties, etc., I keep in a filing area down in the kitchen. So they are really easy, handy to grab. I keep a constant stock of cards which are appropriate for girls and boys of my kids' classmates' age. So, you know, if we've got a weekend party, I can always pull one of those out. I also do keep a stock of presents as well. So you will see that in a little minute, because that is also up in the bedroom. So I keep a stock of presents, keep a stock of cards, and then if I have a super busy week, like I've had, well, every week, quite frankly, recently, and I don't get time to pop out to the shops to buy cards and presents, I will always have something. And if I don't feel like any of the presents are appropriate, then I can put money in a card. And actually, I think certainly for like older kids, so a lot of the parties that my eldest goes to, like the kids really like to get a little bit of money, and they can put that together. Maybe, you know, grandma's giving them some money and they can go shopping and get something that they really want. So I never feel bad about giving money. I think when they're really little, they like the presents, they like the things more. So the stock of presents that I have is more like Play-Doh sets and fancy dress and stuff that I think would be more appropriate for a younger child. Not to say that my eldest is old, right? He's 7. He's still very young. But it's amazing how like more grown up that these seem at 7 than they do when they're 5. But yeah, I have this card organizer anyway, and my hope was to get rid of it actually, because I felt like I wasn't using it masses. But going through the cards, there were a lot that were actually pretty relevant and useful, a lot of thank you cards and things like that. So I have basically just tidied up the cards that whenever I'm looking through, I think, oh God, this card's like boring, or I'm never going to give this card to somebody. I've got one that is a beautiful birthday card for somebody who likes fishing, and it says "Gone Fishing" on it. Nobody in my family fishes, right? I've got nobody that I can give this to, and I've had it for years. So I've sorted out all the brand new cards that I do not want, and I will pop them in the stuff that I'm going to take to the charity shop. I'm sure they can sell them for, 20p each or whatever, and they are lovely. They're all still in their cellophane, so the new ones, they can be used, no problem. And now I'm just going through that box of presents. So in here we have presents for birthday parties, but we also have some presents that I have set aside for Christmas. Don't be alarmed. I'm not that organised. I've not started Christmas shopping. What happened was I bought one too many presents for my middle child for his birthday, which was at the end of April. And when I laid everything out, I was like, you're going to be overboard now. This is a bit silly, and I don't want to overwhelm my kids. He was having a like full class party, so he's going to be getting 25 presents from his school friends. Then he was getting presents from family. Then he was getting presents from us, and I wanted to keep our presents to around about 3 or 4. So there was going to be like one bigger present and then a couple of little ones. So I've kept the rest one side. This is everything I'm getting rid of, which I'm really pleased by. Maybe the boots, maybe not, but I haven't counted them in my total. So 56 items today, bringing us to 798.